Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's EU Covenant of Mayors Europe Finance webinar titled Accelerating Finance for Climate-Ready Positive Energy Neighborhoods. My name is Bart Rama. I am the International Component Coordinator for the Covenant of Mayors Europe, and I will be moderating today's session. A quick reflection on the Covenant of Mayors Europe for those who may be joining a Covenant webinar for the first time. The Covenant of Mayors Europe is a long-standing European Commission initiative. Since its launch in 2008, it has mobilized more than 11,000 authorities across Europe. The Covenant is built on a voluntary bottom-up approach where cities commit to climate action and translate those commitments into local plans and investments. Key point for today is that the Covenant framework helps cities structure and communicate their plans in a way that improves credibility and supports project development and investment conversations. The Covenant community is supported by the Covenant of Mayors Europe office via capacity building, peer learning, and help desk support for signatories, coordinators, and supporters. This brings me to why we run this funding and finance webinar series. In almost every planning cycle, cities tell us the same thing. Moving from a plan to an investable program is the hardest step. Cities may have strong technical solutions and political commitment, but they still face barriers such as limited capacity for project structuring, fragmented ownership models, affordability constraints, and difficulties implementing projects at scale. So this webinar series is designed as a practical support offer. The objective is to share approaches that cities are helped to move from concept to investment. That means focusing on financing logic, de-risking, and partnership. It also means highlighting replicable methods for different municipal contexts, including smaller and mid-sized municipalities. Today's topic, accelerating finance for climate-ready positive energy neighborhoods, is especially relevant because the neighborhood level can unlock scale and integration. But at the same time, it raises additional finance questions. How to package multiple assets, how to blend public and private funding, how to manage risks across actors, and how to keep affordability and inclusion, especially for vulnerable households. In the next hour or so, we will hear first from the BPIE with insights from the Open Lab work on finance and de-risking neighborhood renovation. Then we will move to two concrete Covenant signatory city perspectives, those from Genk and Pamplona. We will close with a moderated Q&A session and focus on what others can replicate. I encourage all the participants to post questions in the chat throughout the presentations, and I will curate them for the Q&A. Just some brief housekeeping before we start the session. Please stay muted unless you're invited to speak. If anyone forgets, we may mute you to avoid any background noise. Please post your questions and comments on the chat. If your question is for a specific speaker, please say so and let us know who is directed to. Speakers may address the questions during their presentation, during the Q&A, or directly in the chat. Finally, this session is being recorded. This is part of what you agreed to when registering. We will share the recording and the speakers' presentations after the event. Let us start with our first speaker. I'm pleased to welcome Victoria Taranu, Senior Researcher at the Building Performance Institute Europe, who will share key financing barriers and de-risking tools for positive energy neighborhoods, including practical guidance for developing investment-ready portfolios. Victoria, over to you. Thank you so much.
To share spaces, services, systems, energy storage, also this, integrated energy management. So it all results in lower energy demand overall, and also lower material use and lower, built floor area of built environment. So all of these have various, environmental and social benefits. And then we go on with energy efficiency. The buildings have deep renovation, and then integration of renewables and energy storage. And again, demand and supply is managed in an aggregated way with for a cluster of buildings instead of, building by building. And this energy management and optimization is also made in an integrated way. And also the neighborhood approach allows for the community engagement. This is the right scale to engage neighbors and, involve also vulnerable households and not leaving anyone behind. So again, this is all good. We all know this, but what is in it for the ESG finance, and how can we enable this ESG finance? How can we prove the added value of these, integrated, ambitious projects? So this, as mentioned, all these ambitious sustainable projects have multiple co-benefits at two levels. So, for example, both renovated buildings and sustainable mobility, they have health benefits at two levels. We all know for residents, it means, better health, comfort, productivity, etc. And at societal level, it means less public health expenditure. Besides health benefits, there are several other microeconomic benefits. The real estate value of the property increases, or other like grid benefits, like you need less grid upgrades since you have energy storage and flexibility. So all of this means savings over time, but you have to prove it in some way, because investors, they need evidence-based methods and tools. So this is a bit what we're trying to find, this kind of practical tools and solutions in the paper that we just published. So feel free to look at it for more information. I will try to dive into it. So as a municipality, you have some policy goals, and then to achieve them, you need to, access private finance. And so to bridge this gap, we're suggesting two practical methods. First of all, the use of city model canvas. I will present it later, and also my colleagues from HENC will show how they use it in a practical way. And then the MBX tool to really quantify, monetize, and incorporate into the cost-benefit analysis this social and environmental co-benefits. So in order to make the business case for this ambitious project. So let's take it step by step. The city model canvas, it's nothing more. It starts with a traditional business model canvas. All the other elements are the same, but it has at the bottom other aspects that are environmental and social costs and benefits. And this is the example of HENC. Later, my colleague Selina will, from the municipality of HENC, will dive deeper into this. But this is a bit, the goal of using this canvas is to also define the ambition level of a project. Because of course, if you want to achieve more, for example, if you want to incorporate also sustainable mobility, then the investment costs will be higher, but then you can achieve several, social and environmental benefits, and also that are linked with your, local policies. For example, you can reduce fuel poverty or reduce greenhouse gas emissions, etc. So depending on the ambition, you can achieve different benefits over time. And how do we prove these benefits? To make the business case is using the MBX tool. This tool was developed by BPIE within another H2020 project that is Signatories. And this is a bit, to have a discussion with investors. So to take the next step, and I mentioned before, these co-benefits can be environmental, macroeconomic, social. You can check in the tool. We have a list, and these are linked with. So this tool can be used for new developments, for renovation of neighborhoods, and for sustainable mobility. So incorporates the co-benefits of these aspects. And so this is an example that we use in the paper based on a positive energy neighborhood in Salzburg. That was our demo within Signatories. And these are the co-benefits of this project. But that we considered mostly, health benefits from walking, cycling, for example, or from living in a sustainable house. And then these co-benefits, the advantage of the tool that they also monetize them, so they put a value to them, and then they incorporate these values into the cost-benefit analysis, and then you have a return of investment that incorporates these externalities. So a higher investment, a more ambitious, sustainable project today means a higher investment today, but over 30, 50 years, it will also provide savings both for individuals, also for the public sector. So all of this, you can compare different levels of ambitions of different for your own project. So what are the key insights to leverage private finance besides of using these tools? So as I mentioned, these neighborhood projects, they incorporate renovation of private buildings, but also, it can be urban regeneration of the public space. So we need blended finance. We need both private and public finance, and also acknowledging these co-benefits and who will, have savings for it can also contribute in, finding what is the right balance here. And then you need a legal entity to act as an umbrella for several investments, and then this can be either an SPV or renewable energy community. And for example, so this provides a legal framework for not only one-off project, but for investments over time. So for example, SPVs are used in Lyon or other municipalities in France to make investments in PV in public spaces. So what is the advantage of having an SPV? It means, one, that it allows you to have investments, but also to have many projects over time, but also to isolate the risk of this big project and have it separate from the rest of the budget, the public budget of the municipality. And another way to reduce investment risk is to have better data at the different stages of the project. For example, in our projects, we use digital twins, BIM technology, and prefabricated technologies, and all of these. It has a lot of estimations before the project, and after the renovation, you have the monitoring of the energy and the optimization of the energy afterwards. So all of this provides more data about the projects and the ESG aspects of the project, and it makes this kind of sustainable project more bankable. And finally, but most importantly, how we include vulnerable households. We need to have financing solutions for every income group. And for example, in Basque Country, Open Gala One Stop Shop has a very targeted financing solution for vulnerable households, which is a mix of grant subsidies, but most importantly, public guaranteed loans. Because if you don't guarantee the access to 100% of financing of the renovation works for vulnerable households, they will not be able to benefit for the subsidies provided. So this kind of a mix of public guarantees and subsidies would enable vulnerable households to be part of these sustainable projects. So I'll stop here since of the time limitation. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer later. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Victoria, for the highlights and the reflections on this highly relevant and very important topic. Now we move from tools and barriers to a concrete city example. I'm pleased to welcome Selina Shepherd from the City of Hank Covenant Signatory. Selina will present lessons learned on financing the PENs. Selina, over to you.
Thank
You want to
you.
share the screen?
Yeah, I'm sharing. Hello all. Thanks, Bart, for the introduction. I want to start off this presentation with a short video clip to sort of set the mood. So in less than 2 minutes, the video will show you all the exciting developments that have been going on in Genk lately as part of the Genk Open Living Lab from the overall Open Lab project. So let me see if I can get this thing working. In case you didn't get the audio, no big deal. There was just a bunch of music, no spoken word. So that's okay. What you just witnessed was a major milestone being reached for the Genk Open Living Lab. So in the summer of 2025, the renovation of 27 social housing units in the neighborhood of New Texas in Genk was completed. So as the visual shows, the Living Lab in Genk is located in 2 neighborhoods in Genk, Waterschei and New Texas. Waterschei is a so-called garden city. So it's a former mining district built in the 1920s. And in Waterschei, we are working together with Stable, which is a local energy service organization that provides support to private homeowners. New Texas, it's a neighborhood you just saw in the video, is a social housing estate built in the 1990s. And in New Texas, we work together with Wonen in Limburg, which is a social housing company. And we collaborate there mainly with tenants of social houses. Now, the goal of the Open Living Lab in Genk is the development of a positive energy neighborhood. And the goal includes the transformation of 33 houses into energy positive buildings through a collective renovation concept and the creation of a collective neighborhood infrastructure where the sharing of energy in a neighborhood and the creation of a local energy community can become concrete. Now, the Genk Open Living Lab is part of the Open Toch Living Lab, to make it a little bit complex for you. But the Open Toch Living Lab is a collaboration between Energieville, the city of Genk, and Toch. And here, innovative energy solutions are developed, tested, and brought to market quickly through collaborations with scientific institutions, companies, educational institutions, governments, and local citizens. And basically, the new taxes and waterscale neighborhoods and what we are doing there with the Open Lab project are part of the residential research area of the TOR Living Lab. Now, for this presentation, I'll focus on new taxes. So in new taxes, thanks to industrialized techniques such as prefabricated facade panels and a modular energy box, which Victoria also already mentioned, pre-integrated with components like a heat pump, ventilation systems, and a buffer tank, the houses were renovated in an average of just 8 weeks. So each unit received a tailored combination of solutions, including green roofs, solar panels, smart ventilation, and additional insulation. But obviously, a PEN is not only about individual solutions or domestic energy consumption. So to complete the PEN puzzle, we are also exploring collective solutions as well. For instance, via the collective neighborhood infrastructure, which we want to build in the center of the new Texas neighborhood, which will allow residents in the neighborhood to share energy. However, this together with the opportunities a local energy community obviously will provide is still very much experimental and explorative in this phase of the Open Lab. Now from the beginning of our Genk Living Lab, basically residents played a very active role through information sessions, individual guidance, participatory sessions, etc. And their input was essential to ensure the renovations aligned with their everyday needs and wishes. One key goal was to carry out the work without requiring residents to relocate, to move, to avoid adding pressure to the already strained social housing waiting list, of course. But for some residents, the impact on privacy and tranquility proved to be, too disrupted, too heavy. And so flexibility was built into the process, allowing residents as well to opt for temporary accommodation with necessary support provided, of course. We see residents as not just end users, but they are partners in making their living environment more sustainable, more efficient, more better, more suited to fit their wishes and needs. And so through co-creation, through intensive participation, we really aimed for a socially supported renovation process. And our experience showed that proactive identification of obstacles, but also transparent, honest communication and close collaboration with the residents were crucial to building support and giving shape to this renovation process together with the residents of New Texas. Of course, our partnership did not only exist out of residents. I have already mentioned a whole range of partners, I think. And as you can imagine, an innovative project such as Open Lab requires an innovative consortium of partners. And thanks to the city model canvas that Victoria already mentioned, we have created a nice overview of these partners. And we know exactly who they are and how they work together. All sectors of the quadruple helix model are represented in our partnership, I think. So we work together with knowledge institutions, energy experts, architects, engineering firms, a whole ecosystem of local companies and contractors. So we're never alone. Moving on towards the more financial side of the story, as Victoria already mentioned, we worked with the city model canvas, and there are two main learning lessons coming from the city of Genk that I would like to address in the few minutes that are remaining in this presentation. Based on the Genk case study, we would like to state that financial solutions for neighborhood scale energy renovation need to explicitly account for social and environmental benefits as well, because these benefits are so central to the project's real value, but are not fully captured by traditional financial metrics we experienced. So in Genk, the Open Living Lab shows that deep renovation and positive energy solutions deliver specific co-benefits, such as improved living comfort, improved health, reduced energy poverty, lower carbon emissions, stronger social cohesion in a vulnerable social housing neighborhood such as New Texas. And if financial models focus only on direct energy savings or short-term returns or the financial benefits, these wider benefits would remain invisible, making projects appear, financially unattractive or maybe even risky. Secondly, based on the Genk case study and based on our work with the City Model Canvas, we would also dare to state that financial models for neighborhood renovation and the energy transition must explicitly take residents into account, particularly tenants and low-income households, because they are both the primary beneficiaries and the most financially vulnerable actors in the system. And so in Genk, the Open Living Lab demonstrates that deep renovation in a social housing context, such as New Texas, cannot rely on models that assume homeowners' investment capacity or their willingness to take on debt. Tenants typically, especially social tenants, of course, typically have limited control over building investments, but they are also at the same time highly sensitive to changes in housing costs, energy bills, rent structures, etc. And if financial models do not address this reality as well, there is a risk that renovation leads to exclusion, displacement, or increased financial pressure rather than social benefit. And so we are trying to do in Genk, in New Texas, we also keep the just transition in our minds to keep this really on top of mind. And with that, I think I came to the end of my presentation. Thank you for your attention, and I guess I'll hand over the stick to Pamplona right now.
That's correct. Thank you so much, Selina. And yes, we will now bridge the conversation and also experiences with Pamplona. Handing over to Zuhaid Reito from Pamplona City Council.
Morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Bart. I will share the presentation. Second. Let me know if you can see the presentation.
Not yet, but it's moving, and we should be seeing very shortly. Yeah, if you want to go just to full screen, that would be perfect.
I hope that is it full screen?
Not yet, but again, it's taking some time, so maybe it's already.
Let me know.
We still see yep, it's good. Great.
Okay, perfect. Let's start. Well, thank you so much, Bart. I will try to be clear in the next minutes. I'll try to explain you our strategy that we have in the City Council of Pamplona regarding the energy communities. But before I start, I would like to share with you the meaning or the concept of the energy communities, because I think that in Europe we have different kind of concept. So in Spain, the energy communities can be neighborhood level, town level, even in rural areas. We have even in valley levels energy communities, and in these energy communities can participate the citizens, small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, and local authorities as well. Just for clarify this point. So regarding our energy communities strategy, Well, we have a plan. We think that we need the citizens to participate in this, the energy transition, and we think that energy communities can accelerate the process of participate in this energy transition. So a few years ago, we decided to help to try to help the citizens in order to develop these energy communities. At the beginning, we start one by one, one neighborhood by another neighborhood, and what we see is that it was going to take us a lot of time because we saw that 6 months to develop an energy community was a lot. So we make a plan. Sometimes there are the citizens that ask for a city council to help them in order to develop these energy communities. And other times we see from the city council that it's interesting to develop an energy community in neighborhoods that they have low-income households. So we made a plan. At the beginning was one energy community in one energy community in each one energy community in one neighborhood, but we saw that it was impossible, and sometimes we are developing energy communities between different neighborhoods. So this is the plan. First of all, we make a picture of the city, and we decide how many energy communities we want to develop in the city. We make every time when we start the process one first meeting. We talk with different associations of the neighborhoods, and we invite them to this meeting. Of course, all the citizens of the neighborhood, and we explain them the plan that we have for each neighborhood. After this first meeting, we start with the training session, and during this training session, well, it takes more or less like 3 months, this process, and we explain them everything regarding the energy communities. We talk about what they can do in an energy community. We talk about energy bills. We talk about the energy model that we have in Europe. What else? Well, all kind of things that are related to energy communities. So we don't speak just about energy. We also talk about climate change. So we have a whole picture of the energy model that we have in Europe. So after this process, these training sessions, we ask them if who are interested in participate of developing the energy community itself. So we start another process with the people that are motivated to develop this energy community in their neighborhood. So at least we need 10 people in each neighborhood to start this second process in the neighborhood. So we start another process. We repeat sometimes this training session, but we start deciding the name of the energy community, if we want to be an association or cooperative, and so on. And at the end of this process, all the process takes, as I said before, like 6 months. We make the registration of the energy community. And at the end of the process, what we do is a presentation for the citizens of this energy community. As I said before, we can have one energy community in one neighborhood, or we can have several neighborhoods in one energy community. The initial plan was to develop all the energy communities last year, 2025, but as I'll show you later, we don't reach this goal, but I think that this year we are going to fulfill it. So we are doing different work in these energy communities: energy efficiency, district heatings, shared mobility, and energy pollution also. Well, and I think this is it seems that is something different that we are doing in Pamplona. We realized during the process that the easiest thing was to develop energy communities in each neighborhood, but we realized also that at the end of this process, we had legally the energy community, and the citizens ask us, the city council, okay, what can we do now? How we can start developing the projects? We realized that it takes a lot of time. It's really difficult for them to develop their first project. They need money, they need a project, and after that, they need to make it legal. And this process, it takes a lot of time. So the City Council, regarding this problem, decided that the first project, the first PV project, was going to develop by the City Council, and it was going to share with the energy community for free for next 20 years. And why that? First of all, because we accelerate the process of developing the project. It's easier to the City Council to develop this project. And we accelerate also the process of learning for the energy communities. They learn together with us all the process to make these projects. And as soon as they finish to make it legal, the energy community, they can start the self-consumption. They can see in their bills the benefits of making the self-consumption. It's not something theoretical. As soon as they finish the energy community, if they want, they can start doing this, and they can see in their bills the benefits of develop this kind of projects. So it's not something theoretical. It's not something that we are saying that you must do because you have these benefits. They can see by themselves, and they can share this information with their neighbors, and also with their families. So this project can accelerate the process of developing more projects. And this is what happened with the first energy community. Well, before I said that it was for free, it's not for free. We have several conditions. And one of the conditions, for example, for the first energy community was that they have to develop the second project in 1 year and a half. So the condition was that, okay, here you have the first project, but in 1 year and a half, you must develop the new project. So we have seen that this idea has accelerated the process of developing more projects in the city. The conditions, well, we have 100 kilowatts projects. The 80% is for the energy community. The 10% of this 80% is reserved for vulnerable consumers, and the rest of the energy is for the energy community. And the 20% of this production is for the City Council. Is for 10 years. Every year we check if the conditions that we have in this agreement are okay or not. In the case of the agreement is not fulfilled by the energy community, the City Council will have back the project, but from now on it's working very well. So another project that we developed in our overlap neighborhood in Artapea is the car sharing. It's another project that the energy communities are really interested. So we have a collaboration agreement with the energy community of the neighborhood, with Car, which is a cooperative and energy community that is working with the Mobility Factory. It's a European cooperative that is inside RESCOP. And what we have is an agreement that the City Council is leaving to the energy committee and this cooperative a space for parking the car, and we have a charger also for the electric vehicle. So they have for free this space. They just have to pay the bill of the energy. So this is the way that they start doing this kind of car sharing project. And the rest of the energy communities are following them, and we hope that in the few weeks, months, years, they will develop this kind of projects also. Well, this is the current status of the energy communities. You can see here the different energy communities that they already developed. And as I said you before at the beginning, we developed all of the energy communities, but there is one that we couldn't make it legal last year, but in next months we hope that we'll have already developed, and they will start soon working. What else?
Sorry, sorry.
Sorry? Tell me,
Because
Claire.
we cannot see the map. It's still the
sorry.
charging point and parking space. This one. Okay,
Yep.
now.
Tell me. Tell me, Claire. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, understood.
Now we can see it. Thank you.
You can see the map and the energy communities.
I think it's lagging.
Okay.
But now it's okay. Thanks.
So you are seeing the map right now?
Yes.
Okay, so here we have the map of the city. We have the energy communities and how was the evolution of, well, Kemendi was the first one, 2020, 2022, and so on. And this is the last one that I hope that during next month we'll already have, finished. Let me say, let me know if I'm in the energy community city networks because I cannot see what you are seeing.
I'll let you know as soon as it pops up.
Okay. So I will start explaining you. Well, the thing is that what we learned also is that, well, at the beginning was the communication was between each energy community, and it was a really hard job for the city council because every time that they had a problem, it was like, city council, please help us with this problem. And last year we decided to start a network with all the energy communities. So every 2 months we have a meeting, all the energy communities and the city council, and we share all the problems, objectives, whatever we have. We have a folder. We share all the documentation of all the energy communities and so on. So it's a way to make it easier our job from the city council. They know each other. They between the energy communities, they help each other, and we accelerate also the process of learning. And they are also deciding to share the website. Well, they decide many things, and we think that we make easier their job, and our job also. That's true. So. We also have green offices. We have 3 green one-stop shops in the city. The first one was in our open lab neighborhood in Arrochapea. There you have all the services that we are sharing with the citizens. I think this is important also, the funding resources. I hope that you are going to see the information soon. The investment has been very high, let's say. The city council has invested in these projects more or less 500,000 euros. But we think that it's interesting because at the end we are accelerating the process of the participate of the citizens. As I said before, in 1 year and a half, the first energy community has developed the second energy community, the second PV project. Arrochapea Energy Community has developed a car sharing project. So when the citizens see by themselves that something is working, they are going to put all the energy developing new projects. So this is why the city council has made this decision, and it's working. Challenges. Well, I think this is the main challenges that we have in the city council. I guess you already know that for a city council, it's not easy to contract people. We cannot contract people in like a private company. So this is very challenging. We are developing many European projects, and with those European projects, we are developing new services. But the problem that we are facing is that at the end of the projects, we are without these people that they have been working in these projects. So this is the main problem and the main challenge that we have. We are lack of technicians to help us developing this project, because sometimes it's easier to find money grants for developing energy projects, and it's not so easy to find money. And the way to contract people to help us in this to developing this kind of projects. So this is from my side. I think that we have time to clarify something if it was not clear. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much again for this reflection on energy communities and much more with regards to Pamplona city. Now we have a little bit of time for Q&A, and I see there were quite a few questions. A lot of them have already been answered, but the speakers, although I see starting with the one from Pascal, the Victoria, you already answered that, but do you want to reflect on that a little bit on the?
Yes,
Yeah.
because there are so many definitions of positive energy neighborhood slash district. I think every project, like Horizon project that works on it, have their own definition. But besides this, there is, of course, the JPI Urban Europe definition and the IEA, International Energy Agency, Annex 83, that works also on this topic, developed their own definitions. So these are more like institutionalized ones, but they all focus also on social and environmental sustainability, and like even JPI Urban Europe mentions like a good life. So it's I think the term itself is a bit misleading, that it's only about renewable energy. I think like the energy balance, okay, it's an end goal, but how to achieve it, the means to achieve it is first reducing the demand with sufficiency and efficiency, and only afterwards you have this renewable energy and integrated like energy management and energy storage and flexibility services. So it's not that you just take a neighborhood, put PV on top, and you call it a positive energy neighborhood. That's not that. It's first of all decarbonizing the building stock, and you can also integrate so many other aspects, as I said, urban regeneration, sustainable mobility, integration with district heating. To me, I wouldn't even call it like the goal is to achieve a positive energy neighborhood, because also that depends on, in some neighborhoods this is easy to achieve, and some this is impossible, depending on on the density and so on. So I would say the neighborhood approach to find place-based solutions, that should be a means to achieve all these like policy goals that cities have, like to reduce energy poverty, to decarbonize the building stock, etc. So to see it as a tool rather than a means with this neighborhood approach, rather like an endpoint of having a positive energy balance, which actually in some cases creates a problem for the grid, So yeah.
Thanks a lot, Victoria. And now I'm going to call on Selena to comment on the response you gave to Katarina on the prefabricated technology.
Yeah,
maybe just, very short, briefly, because we have a few more that.
But it was a short answer. She asked about having to run a tender, and yes, indeed, we had to run a tender because Wonen Limburg, who owned the social housing units, is a public organization, and then you have to run a tender to find contractors for the renovations. So indeed, we did. Short answer.
Fantastic. And now for Schweiz, for the Pamplona, there are at least a couple of questions. One from Judith on how many energy communities intended to develop. And the other one on the energy engine group. Please.
There are several. The first question about how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We already developed 7, and we are going to finish in a few months the 8th one. Let's continue with the question. We are, and is the municipality also participating in the energy community? Is the objective not yet, but we are checking out how legally can do it. It's possible, but we have to check it out. We are developing a document, and we are going to do it this year. We are going to be the city council will participate in all the energy communities. Yes, that's the objective. I think there is another question from Maria del Puy. How much costs the engine group? Well, this is quite difficult to answer because as I said before, at the beginning, we start doing one energy community one by one. 6 months, one energy community, 6 months, another energy community, and we saw that it was going to delay a lot. So last 2 years, what we say is we were developing energy communities together. I mean, Monday and Thursday we have meetings with one energy communities. Next week, like, so in 6 months we were able to develop 3 energy communities. So the cost depends of how many energy communities you are developing together, because we contract the same people, 3 people for developing the energy communities. And how do you constitute them? Well, at the end of the process, we explain the citizens, the people that they are in this engine group, which are the options that we have legally to develop these energy communities. We share them the documents that we have from other energy communities, and they decide what kind of model they want to develop, and that's all. We help them legally to develop this, to constitute the energy community. And I don't know if there is another, yeah, Pamplona, our energy communities are also collective self-consumption. Not yet. We don't have, they are not self-consumption, all the energy communities, but the city councils, we already have done the installations. As soon as they want to start the self-consumption, they can do it. The job from the city council is already done. The thing is that they have to decide if they want this project or not. It's not easy, this question for them, because as I said before, it's free, but it's not free. I mean, they have to develop. As soon as they start doing the self-consumption, they have to show us that they have a plan to develop the next project. So they need time to think about it. And right now we just have 2 energy communities that they are using this first project. Another
Great.
question.
Yeah, please.
We don't have thermal energy communities yet, but well, let's see.
Maybe we can I know we just hit our allocated time, but maybe we can have one more question to all speakers, and maybe in 20 to 30 seconds. I just want to jump or start with you, Victoria, from the project portfolios for the city, starting from one pilot. What is the first step to move towards the investment ready portfolio? So where they all have to start somewhere. So what's the first step? I mean, I think we've seen from different perspectives, and I would say same question would go to cities as well, but from your perspective, is it the discussions, it is gathering people, I mean, having people together, or having the stakeholders, or what is something that
I would maybe start with this legal entity, that would allow, like, it either can be a special purpose vehicle or renewable energy community. So I think, and to having clear in mind the goals. So what you want to achieve, and the legal entity. And then I think, the nitty-gritties of like which technologies and, which investments, like that. These are already technical details, but I think you just need first like this umbrella for achieving your goals.
Maybe same question to you, Selena, on, again, what is the first step to move towards the investment ready portfolio for cities?
I think for us as a city organization, we do not have this hardcore financial expertise, or we do have a financial department, of course, but the departments that usually work on projects such as Open Lab do not have financial expertise in-house. So I would say getting this expertise on board. This goes along with what Victoria mentions, getting your goals straight, knowing towards what you are moving towards, but also getting the people around you that can help you move towards that goal. So stakeholders, people with expertise. In Open Up, we have this great consortium of a lot of different stakeholders that can help us in getting that expertise on board. So I would say that as a city organization, that is crucial for us in this.
Amazing. How about you, Zuhaid, on Pamplona?
Well, the same. I don't know. I think that I don't have any other thing to share. Yeah.
Great. Thanks again to everybody for joining, and many thanks to all our speakers for your very concrete and transferable insights. To all, we will share the follow-up materials, and to all of you who registered and participated, and we will be happy to have everybody look at watch the recording at your own pace, and again reflect. If any questions, please come back with us. Use our Covenant of Mayors channels to direct any questions, and we would be happy to answer. Thanks again. Have a good afternoon, and until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.